Hey folks, good morning. James Azar here with the CyberHub Podcast for your daily Practitioner Brief. I hope you had a great, relaxing, and enjoyable weekend with your friends and loved one. You're ready to get right back into the action. It's Monday. Before we do that, though, make sure you subscribe to our podcast right now. If you're listening or watching, just hit the subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. That helps ranks us higher. That helps people know that you are listening. It also helps support us here at CyberHub Podcast. You can also go to our website at cyberhubpodcast.com, get our PDF for our Practitioner Brief. It has all the links, all the stories, everything you need and more there. Now let's get right into our Practitioner Brief today. We have a few things to talk about. Not a lot of news over the weekend, meaning most of this weekend was traditionally around security best practices. Not a lot of breaking news outside of, the TikTok story that broke yesterday with Oracle winning the bid. But that's not real security news. That's more of espionage, cyber espionage kind of thing. So let's get into some of the stories as I was researching my morning today, as I start every single morning for informing myself as a CISO. I started with the ZeroLogon attack that lets hackers take over enterprise networks. So in August of last month, Microsoft patched an extremely severe bug. I think we all recall it, identified as CVE 2021-472. According to a Dutch cybersecurity firm, the vulnerability in it is much, much greater. If you don't recall, CVE 2021-472 was described as an elevation of privilege in ZeroLogon, the protocol that authenticates users against domain controllers. Well, apparently the bug has now been named as ZeroLogon, and it takes advantage of weak cryptographic algorithms used in the net logon authentication process. The bug allows an attacker to manipulate net logon authentication procedures and impersonate the identity of any computer or a network when trying to authenticate against a domain controller, disable security features in the net logon authentication process, and change a computer's password on the domain controller's Active Directory. The gist is this attack takes nothing but 3 seconds, apparently. Really, really, really fast. That someone can actually take advantage of this. They're urging people to patch this. If you haven't patched it yet, you should. As a more complete patch is really scheduled for February of 2021, just in case attackers find a way around the August patch. And so keep your eyes on that out there, folks. Wordpress plugin flaws allows attackers to forge emails. This is a high severity plugin with over 100,000 WordPress websites. The reason this is a high severity flaw is because this specific plugin contains data of the consumers that register on those websites, so email addresses, personal information. It's also the plugin that allows you to send newsletters and emails to your entire database. The WordPress plugin is by Icegram, and it enables people to collect leads, send automated new blog posts, notification emails. A remote unauthenticated attacker can exploit the flaw to send forged emails to every single recipient with complete control over the content and subject of the email. People are urged to upgrade to the Icegram version 4.5.6 or higher in order to deal with this. It's ranked, the CVE 2025-780 is ranked 7.5 out of 10, but for a lot of businesses that may rely on this plugin, it's a 10 out of 10, so make sure you go and you patch that right now in your WordPress admin. A vulnerability exposes thousands of MobileIron servers to remote attacks. Researchers have disclosed the details of several potentially serious vulnerabilities affecting MobileIron's mobile device management solutions, including a flaw that can be exploited by an unauthenticated attacker for remote code executions on affected servers. The vulnerabilities were identified by researchers at security firm DEFCOR and were reported to MobileIron in early April. Patches were released in June 15th. The security holes can be exploited for remote code execution, CVE 2021-5505, to read arbitrary files from a targeted system, and CVE 2021-5507, as well as 15506, which allows bypass authentication mechanisms remotely. A blog post last week says that this there's over 10,000 of these servers that have not been patched yet, even though the patch has been out for almost a little bit over 2 months, and that this does have the same critical vulnerability as some of the stuff we've seen affecting enterprise VPN products. And so urging people to please do so. Other stories I found interesting and I read today, the Microsoft is warning of cyber attacks on Trump-Biden election campaign. I think the Threat Post wrote a great story around that. The bipartisan bill that's looking to create a secure digital identity. Data Breach Today has a wonderful story around the law there that's being pushed out by CATCO and several others. And APT 28 mounts rapid large-scale theft of Office 365 logins. Again, Threat Post leading the way with that one. That's it for our Practitioner Brief here today. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in and watching. Tomorrow will be audio only, no video, folks. If you're watching us now, make sure you subscribe to our audio podcast. Link is below. We'll be back with so much more tomorrow. But until then, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe. And most importantly, stay cyber safe.